Hello and welcome to Victory Point Gaming. Today's Learn from the Experts showcases a game that I found to be quite informative. It was played by current arena champion Dwarven Time, and at 24 moves it is an exceptionally fast Ark Nova game by any standards. What I found particularly noteworthy is that it did not feature any of the usual suspects in terms of overpowered maps or sponsors, for example Silver Lake, Ice Cream Parlors, Rescue Station, Side Entrance and so on. Even more remarkable in my mind is that the player finishes the game in 24 moves and triggers the break 4 times along the way. Alright, so we start and Dwarven Time has to choose which cards to keep. They have the endgame goals Small Animal Zoo and Naturalist Zoo, okay. And you can see immediately they do have 2 primates, so they have their own sponsor and the engineer card. And from those they end up keeping those 4. Alright. Opponent's going first, and opponent is building a petting zoo, and they're going for the kind of classic spot. Either on this map you're going for over here or perhaps over here, and they're going to increase their rep and take a card and take a petting zoo animal, which makes sense. For Dwarving Time, they are going to start out with the sponsors here and get that engineer down immediately. Their opponent goes for sponsors and plays expert enlarge. And Dwarven Time is associating for Partner Zoo and chooses to take Africa. First decision of the game where I might have done something differently. So here you can see that we do have continents as one of the possible projects to go for. One thing that might be possible is to take a different one so that you're diversifying continents, but here they decide to go, okay, discounts, we have 2 monkeys we want to play, we want to get those things down, so let's get the discounts, which is very logical. I think at this point they've got the whole round planned out. I don't see that far ahead, but we'll see what they do. So opponent's drawing some cards. Dwarven Time's going to go ahead and build. And they will have 2 size 3s. One goes here taking a card. And at this point they're probably considering how are we going to get enough money, and probably sunbathing is going to have a factor here. So they get their own sponsor play down, and it'll go next to the pub restaurant, no doubt. Very nicely done. Opponent goes ahead and does some associating and grabs Asia. So here Dwarven Time's drawing cards, and they do end up drawing 3 from the top. They're going to play down both monkeys, and the sunbathing is going to help. So the discount from Africa combined with the sunbathing is going to allow them to actually play these down. Now at this point they would like to keep expert, but I think the maths of it works out that they actually have to go ahead and sunbathe all 3 of those other cards in hand. So that's what they do. They're going to play down that first monkey, sell 3 cards and play the other. It required a lot of forethought, that plan. It's way in advance of anything I'd be able to do in this game, to be honest. So blue goes ahead and does the animals action. And at this point, Dwarven Time is pretty unable to do anything else this round. They get a little bit of monkey. A little bit of monkey? They have a little bit of cash left, but they do decide to go ahead and break. So this is break 1, keep track guys. This is the first break triggered by Dwarven Time, getting 5 cash in a next token, which is certainly not a bad thing. They've played all of their cards 1 time and then broken, so that's 6 moves that they've taken. They break for 5, and that is going to be quite impactful actually. Here Dwarven Time is associating and it's going to do primates immediately. Upgrade build, which makes sense, and snap the petting zoo animal. You can see the opponent has 2 petting zoo animals already, so this looks like purely blocking move. The horse is generally something that's worth playing down. We get a second partner zoo from blue, so they are kind of going for the whole partner zoo strat, which makes sense with diversity over here. And Dwarven Time is going to build kiosk, benefit from the engineer once again, building down a second path, placing the petting zoo in the same spot that our opponent did, grab a random card and increase reputation. Opponent is building. It ends up being a very short round here. Dwarven Time X's and does the sponsors 4 and ends the round. They are using their workers quite quickly and efficiently. It just so happens they took the snap bonus, they were able to snap a rhino. They're now thinking, long term, I need to get animals upgraded. And here, opponent's drawing some cards, and Dwarven Time goes right ahead and takes another partner zoo. And at this point, upgrade association becomes clear that that's so that they can take a 3rd partner zoo. And the nice thing about upgrading Association, of course, is that if you have the X tokens and Association 8 to finish off this project. So we get a Tarsier from the opponent, which means we've just advanced 4 on the break track, which does mean that we could get another very fast round. We get drawing cards off the top from Dwarven Time this time, and you can see that they have the giant panda, which could be of interest. Blue takes the university and gets to upgrade animals, and here we're going to start building. So get another size 3, get another size 3, and quite important in this game is that we use clever. In such a fast game, we need to be using clever very cleverly. But they do get rid of the sponsors card here. Yes, we get a break from the opponent here. So unfortunately, we do have 6 cards in hand. However, not all of them are great. We end up getting rid of the horse. So this is probably primarily for the continent icon. Potentially snap another good thing up here. We are going to require the Asia handshake if we do want to play the panda. Associate, it's at 4, but we go ahead and take a partner again. We've actually got a bit of a mega turn coming up right now. We take Europe, kind of the penultimate continent that we need, and a donation. If we take advantage of the sloth bear, we're going to be able to get another association in very quickly here. Opponent's doing a nice big build. We play the animals action down, and America's icon, which we need. Get the sloth bear, push association up. Dwarven Time in this spot is now able to associate again immediately. So very, very masterful control of the card positioning. Opponent's drawing some cards from the deck, and you can already see there's quite a considerable gap in terms of points. Here Dwarven Time is associating and gets the first slot on habitat diversity. ×2 multiplier on sponsors, gaining 3 X's and donating again. And blue is going to play down some animals, a wolf, and just a brutal move here from Dwarven Time. Sponsoring twice, once with an X token, causing the break, and they've actually used 2 workers in 2 association actions this round. Blue hasn't even associated. Absolutely brutal. I think if we're keeping track, that was the 3rd break caused by Dwarven Time, and the opponent's caused 1. So getting yet another ticket from that, snapping yet another card. I've got to say, the snaps in this game have been such a big deal, and really interesting to me, they haven't taken a university yet. So this was the plan. They got their size 5 down, played the wolf, released the wolf. Does make sense. They were just 1 tempo behind, or 2, of actually being able to get their release there and get maybe the bonus they wanted. You get a card from the top, the drawing, yeah. And Dwarven Time has a huge amount of cash. For their second project, they took cash here. So one thing that's quite neat about taking the worker here is that perhaps you don't have to take this worker immediately. Given that they're so far down on the reputation track, they're not going to get Maisie anytime soon. They are playing a very low rep game. And this is kind of unconventional. The meta on BGA is very much to focus out those unis. But there are, of course, other ways to play the game. They go ahead and do a card action and snap a red deer. This implies to me that they are thinking, I'd like to get this panda down, but is it going to be too slow to get the animals card upgraded for the rhino to be the enabling card for the panda? They decide to associate first, and they've gone for a upgraded Asso with Partner Zoo plus reputation. Of course, naturalist here, we don't have a lot of small animals. So not what you would call an overpowered endgame goal either by any stretch of the imagination. Spoiler alert, they only get 2 sponsors the whole game. So here they are doing their build at last, and gets a size 4 down, and they get another size 4, getting an X. Engineer has been absolutely critical in this game. At the end of the game, in the comments, Dwarven Time said, Engineer, so strong. And having watched this game, I'm inclined to agree. Here they decide 2 animals, they play down the enabling herbivore, and go ahead and play down the giant panda. At this point you can see they have a huge amount of points. Gonna get 10 tickets for this panda, getting a reputation, giving the critical animals upgrade, and that, enabling them to get this rhino down. So they had to get that card upgraded, otherwise it was not going to be possible to play down the rhino. And with no universities, you're going to have to think very long and hard about how you're actually going to get a card upgraded. They're not going to be able to get this upgrade, so it has to be this one. Here, blue is going to upgrade cards, and they don't know as well. And Dwarven Time is sponsoring, and breaks for the 4th time, getting an X token. Here they got lots of X's, got 5 X's now, so they're all set up for the last round. So here, snap, we snap a Greater Rhea. Here, they go ahead and get the 10th reputation and get a card. Okay, that action's complete. Right, so what they've actually gone for is releasing the Predator. They donate. So, alright. So here, they're able to play down the Rhino. And they grab Africa. And yeah, here they can play the other Africa creature. So they have Africa 4 on 89 points. And playing Africa down, enough points here to end the game out. And an astonishingly fast game. Yeah, really, really remarkable. Only 2 sponsors played. So Dwarven Time here can support Africa, getting 3 conservation points, taking 12 money, and donating. Fair bit of donation in this game. Donation not something that I typically tend to do, but I think having seen this game, I have a newfound respect for it. We're playing the Predator Breeding Program, taking Europartnercy. And here we go, Dwarven Time, associating, playing down Africa, getting all the way up to 98, 12 money, donating, and triggering the end of the game. Showing Engineer can be an absolute powerhouse if things line up correctly, and they really did find the right way to navigate this game. So I do wonder, did they pick snaps just to deny the 3rd petting zoo animal? Don't know if they had some intention to play that petting zoo animal at some point, but in any case, that reputation that they got was critical in the end. Absolutely fascinating. So come the end of the game, fairly big gap here, so endgame scoring is not going to matter too much, but they do get 2 endgame. Absolutely fantastic game there. Alright guys, I hope you found that to be interesting. I for one certainly thought that was a real masterclass in finishing the game very quickly, getting the most out of the cards that you may have, even if they are perhaps not as, rated highly by the community. So they had the Engineer Victory Column, they controlled their card placements absolutely masterfully. Really great game, finished it super fast, and if I'm not mistaken, they are currently rank 1 in the new Season 16, so they're doing very well on that one too. Brilliant game there from Dwarven Time. We're going to go ahead and end this video. If you enjoyed, please leave some comments. If you have other fast games for me to have a look at, link them in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.